Hi everybody, this week we're going to learn a little bit about algebra tiles. Algebra tiles are a way for us to look at quadratics in a new way with a visual representation. So right here I have a representation of a quadratic. Now let's look at the different parts. You can see that there's this big blue square, there are these orange rectangles, and there's this little green square. Well, this big blue square represents a square with dimensions x by x. So its area would be x squared. These rectangles have dimensions that are 1 by x, so their areas would be 1 times x is x. This one's oriented a different way, but it still has an area of 1 times x, which is x. And these little green squares have an area of 1 by 1, so they represent 1. One interesting thing about this Desmos is I can toggle these, and I could flip these rectangles on their side or make them standing upright. I could drag these around if I want and move them to look however I want. All right, so that's pretty cool. So on this first problem, I want to write the area, the total area of these algebra tiles. And I'm going to have to write them in terms of x because I don't know what the value of x is. So I have one blue square, so that has an area of x squared. I have two orange rectangles, so that would be 2 times x because each one has an area of x. And I have one green square, so it has an area of 1, and I can see that, yep, I got it right. All right, let's do another one. This one does not have the labels on it. I just have to know that the blue squares represent x squared, the orange rectangles represent x, and the green squares represent 1. So I'm going to kind of group these together to make it easier for me to see what the area is. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this down here. I'm going to make these face all the same way, right? And let's see, get these unit squares over here. And so I have 1, 2, so that's 2 times x squared. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles, so that represents 5 times x. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 unit squares, so that represents 6. And I can see, cool, got it right. Then I'll have you do one more type. We're going to build an algebra tile model that represents this quadratic, 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. So I know that I just need 2 big squares. All right, so I'm going to enter 2 right there, and I can see 2 big blue squares pop up. Those each have an area of x squared. 3x, so I need 3 orange rectangles because each one of those has an area of x, and then 1. And there we go. One cool thing, and you might want to try this with some of these, is that I can arrange these into a rectangle. Let me show you what I mean. So, cool. This one arranges into a rectangle, and we'll learn more about that later. All right, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this activity.